Hi guys, this is Solomon here, live at 5. Another week has gone by, and then this week, with some adjustment, we finally have arrived in Israel. And together with us is a very famous and talented designer, Orit.
Hi,
How are
Solomon.
you,
How are
Orit,
you?
today?
I'm okay. I'm great. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's actually a wonderful experience to have a designer from Israel to share with us all your expertise. And what have you got for us this time?
Okay, so this time I brought a few designs. The first one I'm gonna present the necklace. This one, the chain, how to do the chain. The second one, I'm gonna show how to do two legs with bark and design with glass tubes and flowers, of course. So I'm gonna show all the mechanics and techniques how to do it. And if we will have time, I have a third one.
Wow, that sounds like it's very interesting. We must get to see a lot of your works. And let us show, you talk about the necklace. What kind of necklace are you talking about? Would you like to show us?
Yes, of course. I have this one. This is a chain. I didn't finish the flowers. I thought about doing it in live. This chain, I love doing it with a few different materials. For example, I have this material. It's like, it has a wire. I love the rustic. I think that it's something that belongs to Israel. I live in Kibbutz Naan. It's like a wonderful village when you are going outside. So it's really nice to have this and work with like different materials of very rustic. I mean, you can do it in a very gentle way, like this one, but I love to do it with this one. So this one is what I'm going to show. I'm going to show how to do it. Should I start with this one?
Yes, please, if that's possible. I'm just calling up the picture of the rustic wire that you've just used.
Yes. So I'm going to take this down. So what I did is I take this one. I found it in our supplier that I must say that it's really nice to see this stuff because it's coming from other countries and I love it. And what you have here, I'm just taking it and doing different kind of binding like that and creating the things that I want. I mean, it depends how I want it, what is the event. For example, in Israel, we have a holiday called Shavuot. So people like look like they're wearing something that they're getting from the field. So this one, I'm taking it like that and I'm going forward. I love doing it by hand. You can do it with every material or tools that you want, but I love to feel it. And I'm going like that, going on forward. I can show you the steps that I started doing like that yesterday and the ready one. I go on and go on. And the really important thing is to decide what long do you want it. Because if you want it like long, so you have to do the whole chain. But you can do it for the hair, you can do it for everything. So what I'm showing now, it's a botanical accessories, a botanical jewelry that you can put it whatever you want. You can have it as a chain, you can have it in something to the hair, you can have it like as a, how you say it, I forgot, you can put it like that, you can do it whatever you want. The things that we need for that matter is, I did it before. Since Israel is a really warm country, we're preparing the flowers before. So I'm doing it, you can see it, right? Yes. I'm doing it in two things. You can do it like that, or either you can put a chicken wire on the glass. So then put the flowers, and then I'm preparing it in the winter, something like 3 hours before, in the summer, 5 hours before. And then you have it and it's ready, and it can be held in a different warm days that we have it a lot. But I have to have it like that. So it's good for a warm countries, and I think that it's good if you want a quality work to prepare it like that. The second thing that I'm doing, after I finish everything, the necklace is gonna look, the base is gonna look like that, okay? So you have it, everything ready. And then I'm starting with the flowers. It's really nice when you connect it at your neck. So it's really nice and comfortable, more than this one. So this one is going to sit on the body, and the paper wire will be at the back. Can I go to the flowers and show it?
Yes, please. It's actually very interesting for you to show us how it's done with the rustic wire. Is the wire from Oasis, or is it some kind of?
I'm going to the flower.
Wrapped Oasis. Is that Oasis wire?
It's one of the wires I have. This one is Oasis, and the other one is from company that called HR. They're located in Germany. So we have here in Israel both of them. I love this color as well, and this one is really, really nice as well. So both of them, it depends what you want. I love these materials because, as you can see, here you have a little bit hairy. So I have to cut it all the time. And in the Oasis, it's more nicer and clean. But both of them are really nice to work with. It depends what you want to do, and it depends who is the person that you are doing it for. I cut the flowers before and put it in the water, as I said before, and now I'm going to do it with a cold glue. It is really important to work with cold glue with the fresh flowers, of course, since it's for this. And the second thing, it's really important because it's hold the water inside. For example, if I'm cutting it because I don't need the stem, and I'm putting flower in the necklace, the chain, you can see that in Israel, for example, it can hold like 3 or 4 days, or maybe 5. It's depending on the weather. Or I never jewelry because it's really important, the quality. And I'm gonna take this one. It's so beautiful. I use here a succulent. I'm gonna show it. I'm using succulent, chrysanthemum, eucalyptus berries. I have here different kind of gomphrena, but it's really nice. And I really wanted to go on flowers and the colors that for me remind the autumn. So you can do it with any different colors that you decide, but you just have to choose what you want to do. I had like I think if to work with the biggest one, and I see now that I'm not gonna work.
Would you like to bring it closer? Maybe a closer look would be appreciated.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, 1 second. I'm going to take this down. Here is this one. Can you see it?
Wow.
Closer? Okay.
Yeah. The base is very useful because it gives a lot of space. It gives a lot of space for you to glue the thing on.
Exactly. I did it. It's a good comment because when I did it, I thought about it that I really need a space. You can do it thinner if you want, but if you want to put flower and to do it something that it's very ethnic, so I'm going to do it that I will have more space to put the flowers. So either wise, you can do it whatever you want, thinner or wider. It's the decision. I think that it depends on the person that is going to put it on on her neck. I mean, if it's a kid, so I'm not sure that I'm going to do this kind of size because I need to think of the proportion. So it depends. It depends who is the person that have it. I'm going to continue here with this one. And the Cambria is such a beautiful orchid. I have to say that we have a lot of growers, great growers in Israel, that we have even flowers from them. So for this show, I went to buy flowers and I saw such a great things that we have here. We have export as well, but this one is, most of it is from Israel.
It's actually fantastic. We do have a lot of Israeli import into Asia and in Hong Kong as well, especially Gypsophilia, peonies, and oxypetalum. We've got a lot of flowers, especially in winter, that are imported from Israel. So thank you
Nice.
very much for having so wonderful flowers.
Thank you so much. This is one of the things that we were happy at the COVID-19 at the beginning. So it was really easy to find flowers because the growers, what they're doing usually to export, they brought us everything. So it was really nice to have a lot of stuff. This one, for example, is the Duranta. We went outside and we just took it from the garden. So we have a lot of great stuff that I can combine in my design from the garden.
What are your inspirations, Orit? Where do you get your inspirations from?
I'm getting my inspiration from my daily situations. Everything that happened on a daily basis, it's made me like have inspiration of what I want to do. For example, my next design that I'm going to show, it's something that I created a few weeks ago, and I'm going to do it today with the different colors. I did it from some situation that we have here in Israel, and like it's something that affect my feeling, and I just did a design with the daily situation. So if I'm hearing a good music, it's inspiration. If I'm going to the nature and see a wonderful, you know, the autumn or the spring or every season. So it's giving me inspiration, and of course every situation that's happened. I'm very emotional. I have my sketchbook near me, and every time that I have something, I'm like writing it down and sketching it and just going forward with it. And I love it. I love it that this is my inspiration because it's feel like you live the flowers. You live the. It's something that's coming from the soul.
It is. It's actually very important and have your sketchbook. We're lucky enough to have a glimpse into what you've sketched for us here yesterday.
Yes, I have to
Putting it
say
up.
something. Since I'm very spontaneous, usually, I send you the sketches. The base of the design is the same, but I change a little bit the flowers. I added a few stuff, so I'm going to say it loud. But for example, I added here, I didn't use here scabiosa. By the way, this is the part of the situation here in Israel that we have a rainy days, but it's warm. So if I'm putting scabiosa, it's not gonna survive. In the winter, I'm using it, so it will be okay. So we have like to change like every day and to find the solution. And but the sketches is the same and more flowers.
Improvisation is the greatest asset of any floral designers, right?
Yes, you have to know how to change. I think that I'm going to add the onyxidium. I love, by the way, orchids, this kind of orchids. If you're putting it in the water long enough, it stays for such a long time. So it's really nice to use it in a botanical jewelry. I'm going to take this onyxidium. By the way, since we can't have it lately in as a flower, I'm taking it from plants. It's very nice option if you don't have the colors that you want to use. So to do it from plants. I'm taking it and I'm putting it again here and just go like this.
I
Just
love
gonna put a few
Obsidian.
more. Thank you.
It's a happy flower.
Yes, it's happy. It's like a butterfly. In Israel, the grower call it a Sami butterfly. So
Huh?
it's look like that. Totally like butterfly.
So can you tell us about your journey into floristry? Have you always been a florist?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I was in high tech before. I used to be a manager in high tech company, and I dream of working in as a florist for a long time since I was 8 years old. And and when I was 31, I started study. We had here a program of England to do a diploma, so I started the program over there, and then I continued with the European Master Certification. I had this one as well, and continue always going to workshops and study around the world because I love to see different opinion and different style. I think that we can learn from everybody, so it's really nice to go around and learn. And I learned a lot from Gregor Lersch. He's inspired me a lot. And in the last few years, actually 15 years ago, I used to work in the flower shop and then event design for a few years. And opened 10 years ago a school, a florist design school that work here in Israel. I love it. I have to say that I love it. So at this moment, I'm doing event design, but less. You know, the COVID-19 stopped a lot of things here. So most of my activity is my school, and I love it. I just love it. I think
It's actually quite fantastic
it's
to.
great to do something that we love.
Can you tell us where your school is?
Yes, my school is in Kibbutz Naham. Kibbutz Naham is about 45 minutes from Tel Aviv and 30 minutes from Jerusalem. It's a beautiful village, gorgeous village, that when I'm open my window, I see, I don't have to open my window. I see nature everywhere. So it's like when you're coming here, you feel like you're in a dream. You're coming to a wonderful place. No buses, no trains, so only nature. So it's really nice to be here. And my place is like it's a very. I have a big windows that we are like studying inside, but see all nature outside. So I think that it's part of the great inspiration when you don't have a closed room with the walls and you have the nature then as a person. I
Wow,
see
that
them.
sounds like a wonderful place to be. Looks like your necklace is almost finished now. Would you like to show us like the finished product?
Yes, absolutely. 1 second, I'm going to put one more Monfrena.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So for all of you, if you are interested in Orit's work, there is actually a wonderful book that has just been published, and that's by my very good friend Julia Marie Schmidt, which is called Winter Botanicals, and I've got a copy in my hand. So if you're in Hong Kong, you can always kind of come to us to get your copy. But if you are not in Hong Kong and maybe you are anywhere else in the world, you can just directly go on to Winter Botanicals and or Julia's website to order this. And what's so good about this book is inside we can also find Orit's and Orit's work in there. And probably Orit's gonna just show us what you have got in this book later on as well, aren't you?
I have a picture in this matter. The
I have. I'm going to show it to everybody. Yep.
I have to say that I have Julia book here as well, so you can find it in Israel as well. It's a great book that you can see a few designers around the world. What I designed there, it's a Hanukkah, it's Menorah. Yes, it is Menorah. That Menorah, it's for Hanukkah. When Julia contacted me, she asked me to do something that belonged to the winter. And I did the Hanukkah Menorah. It's in Hebrew Hanukkah, in English Menorah. I did a menorah because I love Hanukkah. It's on December, so it's the same month of the Christmas. As well, it's Festival of Light. And I born in Hanukkah means that my name, Orit, it means light in Hebrew. So, yes, this is the menorah. I created with a wood and candlesticks, and we have the light over there. I use winter flowers. I love winter flowers. In most countries, you can find like tulip most of the year or different stuff. Here, you find it only from now. We have something that is the beginning, so it doesn't look very good. But from December, we have tulips, so it's really nice for us to have it. And I use winter flowers for all this Hanukkah, so it's give me the warmth of the holiday. And everyone that wants the book, you can find it through me as well, from Israel.
That's fantastic. So do look out for this book, curated by Julia, and you can find Orit in there. And anybody who's interested in the book, just give us a shout. And also, talking about the candles, I've seen quite a few works of yours that are related to light. Here's one. Would you like to talk about that with us? This is like a tree full of candles.
Yes, I can show a different one, for example. This one, I hope I'm looking here so to see that you can see it. This one, it's a different Hanukkah menorah that I did. The menorah has to have 9 candles, so that's what I did. Everything is with tubes, no floor foam, of course. What I did here is I took wires. This is Gregor Lerch technique that I learned from him, how to do the candle with the spider. So you're taking like wires, and then you're doing with paper wires, you prepare this one. So you will have it to the sticks. What I did here, I did the base that it look like a menorah. And then in order to put the candlesticks, I give it a safe place to be. I added a lot of roots. I love roots. I think that you can see that my work is most very rustic, more feel like the, how can I say, like the nature is here. And the tubes, what I did, I added tubes here, so you can see with a paper wire, I've connected it. So we can have like all this, so I can put the flowers inside. So this is the menorah.
That's actually quite fascinating. It's so. Is there any reason for the 9 candles, not 4 candles?
Yes, the reason is because we are celebrating the light that we had. So we are lighting every day 1 candle with another main one. So we have like 8 days of light. This is the reason why we're doing it. We're celebrating the miracle that we had the light.
That is very cultural as well as beautiful as well. So I actually have seen that's one that you've been talking about, and that been building online, that we've followed you on Facebook, that you've done a lampshade. Would you like to go through that with us as well?
A lampshade, of course. So it's this one. 1 second. Let's see. I hope that you can see it and it's not too big. This one, what I did, I took the base. I found it in a market, in a flea market, and I loved it. And what I did here, I took a chicken wire, and actually what you have here is a spidistra that I cut it like as small, as a long pieces, and weave it into the chicken wire, and I dry it because I think that it was really nice. Here I have my assistants here with me, so he's helping me. Thank you, my husband. So you have this one, you can see it. I just weave it and then I put it in the sun. We have plenty of sun in Israel. I put it in the sun until it dry and put it in the menorah. What I did inside, I hope that you can see, I did again the spider. So the spider hold here the chicken wire. It's hold here, and here I'm catching it with the paper wire, so it will be safe. And then everything that I did here, I did it with flowers, I love dry flowers, and tubes. I'm going to show you how I'm connecting the tubes. I put the tubes here, and then I did the design that I want. I think that we have a picture of the final design of this, so we can see it. I'm going to show you, should I show this one, how I'm connecting the tubes?
Yes, I've shown the finished design here on the screen for everybody to see. You've put in some phalaenopsis, and I think it's very rustic. Like you said, it's actually a very natural, very just go with nature kind of a feeling, and it looks fantastic. Who would have thought, like weaving dry material could have created such a visual impact?
Thank you so much. Should I show the how I'm doing with the glass tube, or should we go to the next one? Whatever.
Oh, shall we go to the next one? Do you think is it special what you're gonna show us? Like
no, actually no. So I'm gonna show the almost finished necklace.
Ah, that looks fantastic.
Thank you. I am gonna look at it. So if I'm putting it like that, I have this one. If I'm putting it on my neck, so you can see here how it's gonna look. Very happy colors, very warm colors. That's it. So what can you put it on the doll? So we're gonna put it in our bottle, and I'm gonna go to the next one.
So for anybody who is watching from a distance, and if you can't see it properly of what Orit is doing, you can actually look out for our Facebook later on. Orit probably would take another picture of the finished work for you, so you can actually see it closer.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna post pictures, and I'm gonna answer questions that I can't see right now in live. I'm gonna answer every question that you have.
Yes. So anybody who have any questions, do fire away.
The second thing that I want to show, this is the one. Actually, I have to say something about this one. This one that you see on my kid's head, we're used to travel every year, everywhere. And every place that I'm going, I'm taking my toolbox with me, and I have to go to the flower shop and buy flowers and do something. So this one is from Slovakia. And every country that I'm going, I have one design that I'm doing in the country. So it's a great memorial for me, and florist is florist everywhere.
It's such a fantastic way of on going on holiday, like blending in your passion as well as collecting flowers and creating as well.
Yes, absolutely. I have different materials, so it's really nice.
So what are you going to show us now?
Now I'm going to show the one with the bark. So this one, I'm going to show the one that it's not with the flowers, but it's this one. but I would like to explain the steps that I did. So what I did here, I took this one, two of them that I ordered from a professional person that's doing it. So it will be heavy and stable. And I have two of these. This is the one that I start. After that, I've sent picture with the moss at the bottom, but yesterday when I created, I felt that it's autumn, and then I saw all these leaves in my kibbutz, and it was really nice. So I took this one and I changed. I mean, I prepared another one with a difference, so you will see that you saw one design and now it's look totally different. This is what I love with the construction. When you have construction, you can change. You can change all the time and it will look different. So what I did here, I glue it, of course, with a cold glue because it's still alive. It was on the floor, but it's still alive. I glue it with a cold glue. And then what I wanted to do, I wanted to put this one as well. This one, I found it in my kibbutz on the floor. So I took this one from the floor and I knew that I'm gonna put it here. It's a bark, I think eucalyptus bark. It was on the floor. In order to put it stable on this, I had to secure it. So I took these two sticks and with the paper wire, I connected here one and the other side another one. And then I put this one so it will hold it and it will not fall down. Everything with the paper wire. By the way, I always have paper wire with me. So I think that it's great for everything. And what I'm doing here, you can either connect it with here that you have, sometimes you have holes that's like a present from nature. If not, I'm doing it with a drill, okay? So if not, I'm doing it with a drill. At this moment, I have this one, I'm putting it like this. I'm just...
So paper wire and glue are the best friends of any florist.
Exactly. Paper wire, glue, exactly. So here I'm going to connect it. I need to do it, and it's finished, the base. The base is ready to work with. But since we are in live and we don't have a lot of time, I prepare before the base. So I'm going to go to the next step.
So this is the finished cake.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Finished. What you see here is, again, the same one. Maybe they can see as well with the moss at the bottom with the different colors. But what I did here, actually this one, it looked like it's a bark, but I brought it with me from Belgium. So it's really easy to drill it other than the bark from nature. But both of them, it's possible. So this one is very light, it's really easy. The other one is the same. I put two how you say it? Two heights, two pieces. So I will have the depth. I love to do depth in my... Two levels, exactly. Thank you very much. Two levels, and then I did it as I saw before with the connection. Here, what I did, I don't want to work less and less working with the floor foam. I'm working with it, but less and less. If I can work with tubes, I prefer to work in tube with more minimal. You feel like you have to think about every flower that you put. So what you see here is the tubes that I have connected. At first, I did the hot glue, and then I wrapped it with a paper wire. I did it like that. Again, this thing, specific thing, I learned from Gregor again. So what I'm doing here, I wrapped it, and then when I wanted to connect it, I connect it like that with a paper wire. So you can see that it's really safe. And if I needed to save it more, I did here a hole with the drill, and then I connected it. So this one I put two like that. Again, one more that I did is I love, as you can see, I work here with few kind of glasses, of tubes. I work with this one, that this one is a glass tube. This one, again, is a glass tube, but wrapped. Sometimes when I want to work, I need to put the tube not straight, and then I don't want the water to come down, so I'm doing it with this. What I take a floor tape. I'm gonna just want to wrap this as well. I'm gonna fill it with water. 1 second. And then
it's always the consideration not to use any oasis or not to use any floral foam.
I'm using a lot of oasis materials. I love it, but if I can work with tubes, or if I can work with something that it's more organic and less, so I'm doing it. But again, it's not that I finished working with floral foam, but and I have to say that in Israel most of the year the weather is really warm. So it means that if I'm doing to one of my clients something like that, I have to make sure that the tubes like every day or even twice a day filled, because it's really warm, so the water is going down. So the floral foam is giving us the option to be more safe or hand-tied bouquet. So this is the thing that it's better for us, but still, when you want to do something that it's really special, minimal, and the tubes, we can feel it. I mean, I'm feeling it and I feel okay. Okay. So yeah, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to. Excuse me again.
No, I was just saying that, like, I'm agreeing with you that the water is actually an issue when you are filling up the tubes.
Exactly, and if you're bringing it to the client, you have to tell them fill every day, because otherwise, if it's not survive, it's the designer problem. So, so yes, I would like to take the flowers. So what I'm going to do here, it's different from what I did before. I'm going to do here again with the warm colors. I'm going to the autumn. I brought these beautiful dahlias. You can see it, right? Yes, these beautiful dahlias, and I have here hydrangea. This one is imported because we don't have it in Israel at this moment. But I couldn't ignore this beautiful thing, so I took it this one. And 1 second, and I have this one. So what I'm going to do, I fill the water before, and I start preparing my design.
These are Israeli dahlias.
Excuse me?
These are Israeli dahlias.
Yes. Is it beautiful? I love it. I'm so proud. You see me all the time smiling when you're asking Israel, because I'm so proud of what we have here. Oops. It's always happened.
We've got an audience asking for a close-up of your dahlia.
Yeah, of course. Here you go.
Oops. Yeah, that should do it.
Okay. And now, usually, when I want to hold the tubes, usually what I'm doing the tubes here with the hot glue. But since we have electricity problem this morning, so I'm doing it with cold glue. But I would suggest to do it with hot glue and not cold glue with the tube, because it's safer. 1 second, I'm sorry about that.
So this is a kind of stacking design that you're doing. It's a stacking design.
Stacking again?
Stacking, like stacking it up, like 2 layers and like hamburger.
Yes, so I'm gonna have, in this level, I'm gonna put in these tubes that I prepared before. In this one, I'm putting it inside. I hope that you can see it. I'm putting it inside because I want to do here 2 layers. But most of my design, it's not going to be a lot of flowers. I'm going to put a dahlia, the second one here. Yes, I'm trying. I have to say that when I start my career, I was working with a lot of flowers, and then I found myself in the last few years more minimal, more plastic, more.
It's always a process. Like sometimes we develop from one side to another. Sometimes a lot of flowers, sometimes less flowers, or sometimes no flowers.
Yeah, I think it's depends, on the mood. It's really depends on the mood. But I find myself more and more trying to do something that it's less. Sorry, I'm going to take my orchid here that I prepared before. 1 second. You see, if I did it with the hot glue, so the tube would not move. So I really recommend to put hot glue and then connect it. It's really on the course on the tube, not on the flowers.
Cold glue takes a while to dry.
Okay. Now I need. It's taking it a while, and the tube is heavy, so you have to put a lot, and you have to prepare it before. Asclepias, I have here as well. Where did I put it? Here. Asclepias. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do like different part of the design. One step. I have too many things here. But I love it because you always have what you need. You just need to see how you work with it. I love it. I have a neighbor that she had it in her garden, and she knows that every time that it's blooming, I'm there.
It is always interesting to see, like whenever there is some flowers blooming somewhere, like a nice garden, you're bound to bump into your friends.
I have to say that I'm giving them flowers, so it's okay, They know that if I'm taking, so they're getting back. So that's why they're not like angry about me, but
I'm sure they love you.
Even though I'm coming with my tube. Okay, this one is succulent from my garden. I love it. I love putting succulent because we have plenty of them in Israel because of the weather. So this is so nice to cover the tube with that. I'm going to show you in a minute.
What is it? Can you show us again? What is that you're using?
I'm using a kind of succulent. I'm going to take it 1 second. 1 second. A type of succulent. So it's giving me the option of covering the tube. That it's really important to cover. I don't like the brown. Although the brown. Excuse me?
It's just glued on as well, the succulents?
Yes, because the succulent, I did a lot of testing about it, and I saw that when I'm doing designs that I'm gluing the succulent, it's going through the. So it's really nice to take it after that and put it back, and it's grow again. It's grow even here. Tomorrow I'm going to see a few days from today, I'm going to see I'm using a lot of succulents. So I saw it. I know what I miss. This one. This one is going to be in this tube, and I think that I finished. The only thing that it's really bothering me all the time, that we have to make sure that we are cleaning the, how you say it, from the cold glue.
The strands, the
Yes.
threads.
Yes. Okay. I think it's ready. I think it's ready. We can put more. I can put more Duranta, but I think it's ready when it's minimal. I'm going to put another one, this one, and I think it's, for me, as Orit, it began to be minimal.
So for everybody's convenience reference, Orit has actually prepared a sketch of this piece of work, and I have put it in the middle of the screen for you to have a look.
Okay, it's really hard.
How often? What are your favorite colors, Orit?
My favorite colors in the last few years, it's the dark ones. Means I love the combination. For example, if I'm not going to the dark yet, green and red. I love it. I love it. I love the combination of purple, red, Bordeaux. It's really nice for me. But these colors, it makes me happy as well. My favorite color is green. I love green. But lately, all my friends and customers, they keep saying, we can see that you're working a lot with purple and dark colors, because I think that it has kind of mystery and it's really nice. But if I'm doing for summer or autumn, I'll do this one as well, these happy colors.
That's fantastic.
I think that
it's always nice to, yeah, it's always nice to see like a personal reflection in all your works.
Thank you. Yes, yes. I'm going to take it a little bit. Can you see it?
Yes. Yes, I think we can just see things. Yeah, but later on you're just going to supplement us with the pictures, right? So that we can appreciate it closer.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to prepare it and I'm going to put it up. So I'm taking it down. Okay. Do we have time for another one?
I think we have. I think we have another few minutes because we started slightly later than usual. We have another 10 minutes or so, I think.
One. So I'm going to start showing. I'm going to clean my space for a second. I have this one.
So everyone,
that I really like it.
Yeah.
I really like
That's
it.
fantastic.
As you can see, yes. The materials, 1 second, is this one. It's something that I found at my supplier and I really like it because you can squeeze it, you can do whatever you want. And then when you squeeze into the shape that you want, you can connect it with paper wire. So you can do whatever you want here. And I love it. And I love the base because, again, it's so natural. So this is the base. What I did here is I put here branches, connected branches of orange tree. Yes, of an orange tree. I connected it with hot glue and with paper wire, and then I added this one. I need to remember the name. It's a gorgeous one. It's written here. I'm going to write after that. It's something that I got from a friend of mine. Look how the pots is amazing. So I added this one with the hot glue because it's dry, and eucalyptus berries, which is dry as well. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to take my flour, for example, for a second. I'm calling my assistants because it's too much materials.
Thank you so much, Orit, for preparing so much for our show. Everybody's enjoying it.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for having me. This one I have to say before I'm starting, I'm doing it with a 1.2 millimeter. It's either 1 or 1.2 millimeter that I'm wrapping it with a floor tape, with a brown floor tape, so I will have it connected to the construction. And then I connected it like here. You see it, right? Like this. So I will have hand holders. So it will be easy for me to work with. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna do very happy colors. I told you before that I love dark colors, but here you're gonna see very light colors, and I'm doing it as a spiral. I'm gonna use roses. I'm gonna use this one, dahlias, of course. And what I love with these branches, that it's giving us a depth. It's a problem with long hair, but yeah, it's okay.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I love when I'm doing a hand-tied bouquet. I love doing it as groups. I think that groups give it a very strong feeling.
It's got great visual impact.
Of the colors, right?
Yeah. And it's so red and so round, it goes against the background of the rustic structure. It really is popping out.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So who do you think is suitable to give this bouquet to?
Actually, for my neighbor that helped me this morning when we had electricity problem, and he arranged for me the chargers for the iPhone. So he's the one that is going to get it as a present.
Yeah, he's a lifesaver.
He's a lifesaver, absolutely. Like this one, it's broken. I brought these tulips. It was closed yesterday. Can you see how it's look now? This is the Israeli weather. That it's open. It's totally open, and it was closed. Yeah.
So what's the weather now? What's the temperature?
Huh?
What's the temperature now?
What is the temperature now? 27. It's around 27. So it was rainy all night.
Wow, that's warm.
But now it's, yeah, it's 80% humidity. Okay.
Wow. That's exactly the same here.
It's the same? Okay, so I'm just thinking that Israel is a warm country.
Oh, wow. So these tulips, you have it with the bulbs. Is there any reason with it?
It's we get it with the palm. Yes, with it because it's an Israeli growing. That's why you see that it's open really fast. When I'm keeping it with that, it's keep longer. With the, I mean, it was in my refrigerator, but still, it's keep longer than you are taking it out. I'm gonna take this to the store. I love the color. Nice, right? I love it. I saw it with my supplier, and I love that it's get this color.
What is it? Is it eucalyptus?
No, it's a kind of a pittosporum.
Oh.
It's a kind of pittosporum.
Oh, wow. Really?
I think that yes, I think that what they did, they what?
Yeah, it's very long stem for pittosporum.
So we had a delay a bit, I guess. Mm-hmm.
It's very rare to have very long pittosporum.
Yeah, and it's really nice. Usually we're seeing the common colors, that it's green and white. But this time when I saw it, it was only one package, and I took it. Every time that I'm going to my supplier, when I see one package, it's disappeared by me. Okay, so I'm going to put here another dahlia and a bit of asclepias, and I think that it's ready.
You have a wonderful assistant.
Yeah, you can see him. Thank you, Nimrod. Nimrod is my husband. They saw you already. You can get into the camera.
It's very helpful.
Yes. When I thought about demonstrating, I knew that I had to have assistance here. Okay, so I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna add more asclepias and I'm gonna finish it. And this is my bouquet.
Yeah. Wow.
You showed before the one with the peonies. So what I love with the construction, again, I'm saying it, that when you're doing something, you can take and do something different, and it's totally different. This one, it's more or less the same colors, but if you change the colors, you change the way of designing, so it's look different. Ready? Okay, I hope that it's ready. Too big to see. And in this situation, by the way, I'm going to add more and more and more because it's hard for me to stop when it's hand-tied bouquet. But I'm thinking about it, that you have to see the construction. So I'm going to just take...
Yeah, it's always a problem with balance, like when to stop and when to add more.
Exactly. But I think when you see the branches, I can finish here. Yes? My assistant said that I can finish here. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Orit. It's actually our first time that we traveled so far all the way into Israel, because we haven't really had much chance or opportunity to know anybody from Israel, in terms of floral design. But so this is such an opportunity for us, and it's such an eye-opening experience. Thank you so much, Orit, for having us and coming to Life at 5.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people's been leaving a lot of wonderful messages. So like when you have time, do have a look, and we'll be reposting it in all of the groups that we have. Thank you so much, Orit.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so here we are. We have this wonderful and very successful. Thank you so much, Orit, for all your information and all the sketches. It's actually absolutely informative and packed with knowledge. So this week we are in Israel, and then next week, where we're going. We're going back to jolly old England. We are going to have another designer with Mark and Whistle. Will be demonstrating us the latest style in England. So until then, next week, here from Hong Kong, a very nice weekend to all of you. I'm Solomon, and we'll see you next week. Bye.